So yesterday we talked about 4 championship transfers that should scare you this upcoming season. One of them was Patrick Agyemang, the Derby County American striker who just signed for a fee of £7 million. I wanted to pull that out and talk about him a little bit more today because I've been seeing a lot of negative reviews on him despite people not knowing what he's actually about. So as an American myself, I watched him a ton. You'll hear me say it in the clip. I watched him in the MLS. I've seen him in person. I watched him all summer at the Gold Cup, and I want to talk about how he is as a player, how he's going to fit in, and whatnot at Derby County as one of the American strikers in the league, which I think there's 5 now. We've got Sargent, who's probably gone, Haji Wright, Damian Downs, Daryl Dyke, and Patrick now. Very cool. But before I play yesterday's clip, I want to talk about his goal catalog from last year because I didn't mention that in the video. In that video, you'll hear me talk about why it should scare you if you're a fan of that club and why it should scare you if you're an opposing fan. And I covered pretty much everything I wanted to say, but something that's raising concern to me as I went back and I watched his goal catalog just to make sure that I didn't miss anything. In these goals that he's scoring, he has a very, very good first touch, but just it's the MLS and just something about it to me, I just don't know if that transfers to a highly competitive league like the championship. So like, look at this first touch. Basically just bounces off his knee. I don't know how the defender isn't clocking that and just clearing that ball super easily. Like, how is the defender not picking up on that terrible first touch and letting him recover and letting him take another touch and score? But on the flip side, I also want to show this because he's got very good heading accuracy. That's an absolutely sick goal. Going the complete other direction, is able to direct that into the upper 90 and just ping it in off the bar. And we get an ad. Okay, well, that's all I want to say. Let me play yesterday's clip. Let me know what you think in the comments. Again, subscribe if you like the championship or if you're just a general footy fan. Tons of content coming this season. I cannot wait for the season to begin. Patrick Agyemang, the U.S. national from Charlotte FC, just transferred to Derby County, and this one has created so much controversy. It is absolutely insane. I like this one too because it's from an American perspective where a lot of people may not know much about him, but from watching the U.S. in the Gold Cup this past summer, and I actually have seen Patrick Agyemang play in real life up in Toronto 2 months ago, I feel like I have a good, strong opinion on him, and I can really break down how he is as a player. Now, just a quick backstory on him. This is the official site of the Eastern Connecticut State University Athletics. That is a Division III soccer program in the United States. That's where he started his career. He played 2 years there before transferring to Division I Rhode Island. Division III, if you don't know and you're not familiar with it, it's the lowest level of college athletics that you can play. I would say you maybe get 0.001% of those players going pro. He then transferred to Rhode Island, which is a Division I school, which then led him to the pathline of being drafted to the MLS to Charlotte FC. He played 72 matches for them in the past 2 years. He scored 22 goals. This guy is a story. I mean, the fact that he went from Division III to Division I to the MLS to the U.S. men's national team to the championship is absolutely insane. You can tell that he's a raw player. He hasn't been playing pro for very long. He's got 72 pro games under his belt. His finishing is an issue. That was his biggest criticism this summer in the Gold Cup. He always tends to find himself in the right position. He's an absolute unit. He's 6'4", 180 pounds. That's actually funny because Haji Wright and Damian Downs, who are both also championship strikers, are also 6'4". This guy is a bulldozer. He reminds me of Lukaku, especially back in the World Cup, or was it the Euros, when KDB would put him a through ball beautifully at his feet every time and he'd just not finish it. That's what you're going to run into with this guy. His finishing is not the best. His end product, his final ball, is not the best, but he holds up play beautifully and he understands positioning well. Maybe he's not going to finish, but he is always in the right place at the right time. So if he can tie those two things together, maybe it'll be good for him to work with John Eustace, with Carlton Morris. I don't know if Carlton Morris will take like a kind of like a mentorship role with him, being that he's 6 years older. But if this guy can tie everything together, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. That leads us to our main issue, the price of the transfer. You can see right here, Ghanaian American doing that. One of my friends is Ghanaian, he'll like that. The fee can go up to £7 million for him. That is a lot of money for a championship striker. Kyogo is going for 10 mil, only 3 mil more. He is an established professional player who was one of the best players in the SPL. You know that he's a good player. Agyemang, there's a lot of question marks with him. Price equals pressure. There's a huge price tag on this guy. Fans are going to expect him to come into the squad and be very good, very lethal right away. I personally don't think that's going to happen. I want it to happen. I root for him. He's well-spoken. He's respectful. He's a good person, but I don't know how quickly it's going to translate. It is going to translate, but I don't know how quickly. And I'm scared that mentally that's going to take a toll on him. And that just gives me a little bit of concern. On top of that too, he is having sports hernia surgery. He may miss the start of the season, but hopefully, he's hanging around the clubhouse. He's getting good companionship. He's becoming friendly with the guys so that when he is in the squad, he can slot right in. He's well liked. He's respected. And yeah, hopefully in a year from now, we're looking at him being a big reason why they stayed up again, and he had a good year. Like I said, I'm rooting for him. I have my doubts, but who knows?